Today's social media segment is brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
All right, a lot of times we cover football games, baseball games, softball, basketball, volleyball. But what about fishing? Fishing is catching on at all the schools here in the area, and we wanted to make sure we give recognition to fishing. So today we came to Song Finon. They are having a banquet to honor their fishing team. So let's listen in as the coach takes over. They got a pretty good fishing team, and they are young. So they will be back for a few years here on the circuit. So it's all about having fun and catching big fish. All right, give me your name. Of course, I know you, but give me your name anyway.
James Walker, 11th grade, like to fish in general.
Love it, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, next up.
Brandon Clark, 9th grade, love to fish.
All right, good deal.
Thomas LePere, senior, and I just like to fish.
All right, good deal. They all love to fish.
Tucker Gravois, 8th grade, and I love fishing.
All right, cool deal.
Lucas Leday, I'm in 8th grade, and fishing's my hobby.
Jay Hall, and I've been fishing my whole life. It's pretty fun. Noah Arsenault, 11th grade, fish whenever I can.
Rylan Amade, 8th grade. I like to fish.
My name's Aiden Chaudnier, and I like to fish. Austin Terry, 8th grade. Fishing is fun.
I'm Connor Noblock, and I like to fish and play golf.
My name's Ethan Prejo, and I like to fish.
My name's Jackson Boudreaux, and I like to fish.
All right. What's the biggest fish you ever caught?
Biggest fish I ever caught would probably be a 4-pounder.
Chris Celestine, 11th grade, very competitive.
As I look around, it's such a blessing, and we're so grateful that we have this showing of parents, captains, anglers, sponsors. It's a dream come true. Last year, as I reflect on what we had, our first year getting this going again, we had a truck, a tailgate, a pond, some rod and reels, and pizza and cookie cake. And you look at today, and it's just amazing to see this group come together and come out and support what we're doing, support bass fishing, and support these young men and their passion. So thank you for that. The other thing is, this venue. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Yupa and her staff for pulling this together. I went to her and I was like, Yupa, we'd love to have our bass fishing banquet here, but it's kind of a tough question because if you've ever tried to come get food here, you know that the line's usually out the door, and you can't get in. And without hesitation, she said, absolutely, we're going to do it. And so when we met, I just felt so comforted that knowing that, she was on board with this. She wanted to do it. She was excited about doing it, and really hands off. She's like, just tell me what you want and we'll make it happen. So everything you see here, decorations, table, setup, Miss Yupa was able to get this for us, and so make sure when she comes out the kitchen, that's her place. Make sure when she comes out the kitchen you say thank you. She's about as passionate about her food as we are about bass fishing. So know that what you're eating tonight, there's a lot of passion and dedication that goes into preparing each of her meals, just as we prepare for a bass tournament. The other thing is, I don't know how many of you came just for the tie, or you really came here to celebrate with the boys, but how many of you have never had tie? Okay, so we got one, Lone Ranger. you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. So I hope you enjoy it. The food will be served about 6:15 plus or minus a few minutes. The food, there's a couple allergies here, so the food doesn't have nuts. And there will be some separate meals prepared without seafood for those allergic to seafood or nuts. There will also be some traditional food with chicken nuggets and mac and cheese and salad if you're scared to try Thai. But I would highly recommend you go for it. And of course, as you already know, there's a cash bar there. So feel free to partake, throughout the night. It's really important for us to have some sponsors here tonight. Last year when we started this, again, after a few years off from COVID, we had a couple sponsors, Miss Tina and Hunter Para, and thankfully she was able to get us jerseys in time. Now you can see we have a very decorated jersey. It's pretty cool that we made a big push last summer, and again, we have several sponsors here. You decorate our jerseys and we look like the other teams out there, so much appreciated. We couldn't do it without you. So at the top of the list, sponsors, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your relationship with our team and our young anglers. Yeah, absolutely. We have a banner up here with our sponsors, and it's pretty cool. Our local community especially showed up, but we have sponsors from California, sponsors from Florida, sponsors from all over, and of course many of them aren't here tonight, but again, it's far-reaching outside of just Houma, Louisiana. And we also got some far-reaching sponsorships from big-time places like Ditch Pickle Baits, Lou's, Strike King, Mock Nation, Tackle Warehouse. We have some local Sanji's and Cajun Tackle House. A lot of local sponsors, and we'll get into the sponsors here in the awards section. I don't want to take up too much time with that, but it's extremely important to our anglers and our program and helping us be prepared for our tournaments, be prepared to compete against all these schools out there, and again, much appreciated. Just so you know, the sponsorships that we get, we have just on average, it takes about $300 to $350 to participate in one of these tournaments, and that's just out-of-pocket fees. That's boat fuel, that's truck fuel, that's lodging. The sponsorships definitely help us with all the registrations, and they help us with all these other things that we're able to do throughout the year, such as a Christmas gathering, year-end banquet. We got together and did some community outreach, some community service with preparing ice chests that got shipped to North Carolina, and that was a great experience. We had some special personalized notes that hopefully made headlines. We got together for treats at the track, open house. We had a really good showing at open house, and Terrier tailgate. So everything that you guys contribute to our program goes to again helping these guys compete, helping them be part of service in the community, and we couldn't do it without you. And just some high level numbers here, so tournament and Bass Nation registration fees were about $3,600. So thank you. Jerseys about $2,100. Club tournament awards $400. Christmas and end of the year banquet awards about $4,000. Educational electronics class, which was really cool. We got Bent Rod's guide service to come from up near Toledo Bend. He gave us 4 hours of really detailed educational opportunity for live scoping, for reading sonars, reading graphs. A lot of these, kids, maybe they didn't have the graphs, maybe they didn't have the live scope. It's a great introduction and a great opportunity for them to get educated. And then again, community and school volunteer events, about $500. So, just total for a year, about $11,600. And that doesn't include the out-of-pocket expenses, as I mentioned. So it's expensive, no doubt about it. And I see a mom tapping on Levi out there, and she knows, right? It takes the village. It takes dedication, and it takes the will to want to do it. So we appreciate that. The anglers, of course, you don't just show up and win, right? The anglers put in a lot of work, a lot of YouTube, a lot of studying. Chris, I don't know how many hours you guys put in, but the captains help with this as well. 30, 40 hours a week, YouTube, trying to find that one tree or that one marker in the background that'll give you some hint on where to go. The anglers are doing this. They're reading up. Outside of our 10-day grace period, they're calling other anglers. They really put in the effort to try to win. And so, thanks for your hard work and your dedication and commitment to trying to make this program great. Without you, we couldn't do it. We're going to continue to work as a team and try to help educate our younger anglers, new anglers coming in, help educate our teammates, because we want to be the best around. We want to be the best in Louisiana, and the only way we can do that is if we work as a team. The captains, extremely important captains. We could not do this without you, right? I mean, that's a fact. Anglers, I don't know how many times you get in the boat and say thank you for waking up at 4 o'clock, for driving 6 hours, for spending your entire Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and additional hours on the boat, preparing the boat, everything you need to do to have a boat tournament ready. We couldn't do it without the captains. And so thank you for that. And it's more than an opportunity for going out and catching fish, though. The captains hopefully take the opportunity to mentor these young men. We're out on the water for all day, days at a time. And, the captains have the opportunity to work with these young men, help them grow, help them mature, help them face some adversity, help them grow through that adversity, teach them that you never quit, never give up, and try to succeed with everything that you do. And fishing is only a small part of that. And so, captains, again, your efforts with these opportunities to work with these young men, we greatly appreciate that, because it's far more than fishing techniques. It's life techniques. It's life lessons. It's opportunities to put somebody on the right path. Thank you. Parents, grandparents, step-parents, anyone supporting you all for this journey. Again, without you, we cannot do it. The first thing that the parents or whoever is the guardian of some of these young anglers, first thing they ask about when they come to our meetings at the beginning of the year is, how much does it cost? And cost is a big part of it. Cost is something sometimes that prohibits others to not be able to do it. And again, with sponsorships, as we grow, as we get more sponsorships, it's something that we can help moving forward with, maybe some anglers who are not as fortunate, and we can help them get that same opportunity that we all get to do this. But it's a commitment. It's not cheap. It's a financial commitment. It's a time commitment. And I want to make sure you anglers take that opportunity to say thank you to whoever is supporting you in this endeavor, because again, without them, we couldn't do it. And we have two guest speakers here tonight. David Constant with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We want to thank him for coming by. We got back from the state championship a couple weekends ago, and FCA was a big part of that state championship, and I couldn't help but really appreciate FCA being there and them providing some of their ministry and prayer for all the young anglers out there. And I wanted to invite David, good friend of mine, great fisherman, both saltwater, freshwater, he's done it all. He's been a coach. He's been around young athletes. I would say his entire adult life in some way, some fashion, some form, being a mentor. And it's an honor and a blessing to have him here. And the other guy who you may not have seen or may not have recognized with his LSU Shreveport jersey on is probably one of the hottest college anglers right now on the circuit. The guy has won a lot of tournaments, won a lot of money. We won't get into that. But if you're into it for the money, right, it is possible. He's a Thibodeau High graduate, fished for Lafourche Bassmasters for 4 years, and went on to LSU Shreveport, where he's been having such a phenomenal, successful career the last 2.5 years, I believe. And like I said, there's no hotter angler on the circuit right now. What I want you to appreciate and understand is Levi, since 2025, beginning of 2025, I think he's been home probably 1 week, maybe, and this is probably his second week. So he took the time out of his busy college career and the fact that he hasn't seen his friends and his family very much to come spend time with you all. And let that sink in and understand how much that's going to mean to you. And maybe you won't really grasp that at this point in time in your young adult life, but you'll be able to reflect on that later on and realize that there's always somebody pulling for you. There's always somebody who wants to see you succeed, and they're going to impart what they have, what knowledge they have, and their experiences to help you grow and help you be successful in your life. So again, thank you, Levi. Thank you, David. We appreciate that. And so with that, David has a few words about his ministry and his program with FCA, and then he'll go on to prayer. So thank you, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Coach. It's a blessing to be here. First, I just want to address you young guys and how privileged, right, and how awesome an opportunity you have to wear that jersey. Man, every day I get up, I put this FCA jersey on, and I'm fired up because it represents Jesus. Hey, it's the same thing with your jersey, man. Vandebilt represents a long line of standing tradition in the Catholic faith, yes? And you have that opportunity to go out every chance you get and represent that jersey and understand how important that is. I just wanted to say that because I don't think young people realize the influence that you have. You see, FCA started 70 years ago, and it was a guy named Branch Rickey, and he went to see this guy who was signing Jackie Robinson for the first time in Major League Baseball. That spurned FCA to see the athletes to have this opportunity, right, to have this influence on people in the United States, right? Athletes just have that awesome influence, as you do. You're an athlete, believe it or not, when you step on campus. You may not play football, baseball, maybe some of y'all do. But fishing is a sport, right, Levi? It's a big sport, right? You got to get in shape for that. So, no, just to give you a little, why am I here? Let me tell you, I used to wear the Vandebilt jersey. For 4 years, I was a coach. And let me tell you, the reason I'm back here is because of Vandebilt. A guy named Hunter Para. Y'all know Hunter, right? Bass fisherman. Hunter's mom got my business card. This is a true story. And she called me, Miss Jerry Para, and she was so fired up. You're an angel. You're an angel. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I need you to mentor my son in baseball. Said, yes, ma'am, absolutely. That spurred this. We began doing baseball lessons, but more importantly, we got to fish together, right? We got to go out in the marsh and catch bass, and we also went saltwater fishing. Well, to tell you that story is that Hunter was an awesome guy, and he became an elite bass fisherman after I coached him. And they called me. I was up in Shreveport coaching, and they said they needed a coach down here at Vandebilt. So I said, yes, ma'am, absolutely. I'm coming. So I got the opportunity to coach for 4 years, and I loved it. The reason I tell you that story is because at 2011, before I went to the school down the street, Edie White, the talk began in 2011 to have a fishing team on Vanderbilt's campus. And y'all, Vanderbilt, I went to E.D. White, 2012, we established the first fishing team. You guys at Vanderbilt may not know this, but there was a team in 2012 that came and fished against us. And that began the process of South Louisiana having fishing teams. And it's just been so tremendous to see the growth. So with that being said, I just the reason I'm here, I got in the FCA, simple reason is this. I got on a boat with a world champion fisherman named Jack Haynes. He's like my dad. 1975, he won the world championship. He was on the biggest name in bass fishing. I got an opportunity to fish with him one day. And in the first 5 minutes, he shared his testimony with me about his love for Jesus. And that at a bass tournament is when he was saved and he found Jesus. And as a young coach, that impacted me so much because all I wanted to do was go learn how to flip, right, James? I just wanted to go learn this guy. He threw a spinnerbait and he was in South Carolina and won the big tournament. And, I wanted to learn that stuff. But that guy poured into me and he taught me about what it meant to be a Christian. And that's probably the biggest story I could share from my heart from Fellowship of Christian Athletes today is that when you get on a boat, man, with another young person, to be a mentor, to share Jesus. Hey, take time to pray. Before I take off and hit that throttle, you could ask James. I'll fish with James. So we're going to say a prayer. And we're going to ask the Lord for provisions, but also for protection. And so don't be ashamed to do that. Man, don't be ashamed. You have an opportunity to share Christ with every single person at school. I heard Tim Tebow, the great Tim Tebow, he did a little podcast, and I watched it, and I encourage you to go watch it. Sean Ryan, he does a podcast, and Tim Tebow was talking to him, and he asked Tim, he said, what would your biggest inspirational words be to a young person to go into a school with things the way they are today? And he said, man, just love on them. He said, you're going to have opposition as a Christian, but just love on them. Just love on them. Show them Jesus, right? They're not your opposition. They're your friends in Christ. So I just share that with you young people as you move forward, man. When you go on a boat, when you compete, even in your competition, right? Like things on the line that you're really competing hard for. Like it's very easy, right, to get this macho attitude, like, oh, that's my spot, right? Or hey, dude, like, move away. This is mine. Like, I want you to understand, man. Show people Jesus, right? Show people Jesus. And that's enough. Listen, I know you want to hear Levi talk. I could go on for days. I can't wait for him to talk. But let's pray before I bring up Levi here, and we'll let him talk. Father God, we just thank you so much for these young men, for this opportunity to fish, Father. But more importantly, to be fishers of men. Father, to speak your name, to not be, Father, Father, just understanding that we are worthy, Father God. We pray, God, for the captains. Father God, these captains that pour into these kids, and for the parents, too, that spend so much time. We're thankful so much for Coach Brandon and all he's done to get this team going. And, Father, as I bring up Levi, we just ask your blessings on him, that he continues to be just an awesome, awesome witness as he goes about his touring days, Father God, and that he just shares with us tonight his heart, Father God, and we're thankful so much. And let this food also, as we go to eat, be nourishment to our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. As the banquet continues, you can tell a lot of the Vandebilt Catholic fishing team are behind us. They are getting a good meal in today at Song Finon. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to hear from Levi Thibodeau, who has done very well from Thibodaux, Louisiana. He's done very well on the circuit and the college circuit. We'll get to hear him talk to the Vandebilt anglers. It's all next right here. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
Stay tuned for more Bayou Time Sports, brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System, Community Sports Institute, Barca Honda, and Barca Kia.
I'm going to bring up Levi because, listen, this is a young man. As we go, what we do in Fellowship of Christian Athletes, we go to different marinas and we go to different tournaments and we hand out Bibles and we hand out breakfast, and that's what we do. If you ever want to support FCA, that's what we do. We go around and we facilitate ministry at these tournaments. And this young man, listen, there's not any young man better right now on the tour. That's a stick, as we call it, that can fish. But there's not a better young man. I'm telling you this right now. The sky's the limit for what he's going to accomplish in his pro days. Levi Thibodeau.
It was a great job, Mr. David. We give another round of applause for him. That was really good. But, well, as he said, my name's Levi Thibodeau. I'm from Chack Bay, Louisiana. Not too big on this speaking thing, so I'm going to keep it short. I know y'all ready to eat. I've been fishing since I was probably old enough to walk. We had a pond behind the house, so I'd always be fishing with my dad, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have too. But my dad's the one that got me into it. When I was 10, he let me start fishing tournaments with him, and fished a club called Raceland Bass Anglers. That was my first club I was ever in, and then from there I joined Lafourche Bassmasters in high school with Mr. Ken Blanchard. He started that up. He was a big impact on me. I really appreciate him starting that. And then from there I fished Mr. Tommy's circuit, as all of y'all do. Fished a couple other circuits. And then from there I went on to college, and now I'm in Shreveport and I do college fishing. And on the side of college fishing, I also do major league fishing, the invitationals and the Toyotas, and they got a bunch of stuff to offer. But I gave everybody a handout. On that handout, the first page is just a checklist. Figured it would be something good for everybody to have. It's just kind of what I do going into tournaments and stuff like that. So first thing I got on the list is before a tournament, I like to study maps. So that includes like Navionics. They've got an app for that. Google Earth, OnX. There's a bunch of different apps you can get. And there's also on Google Earth on the computer, you can, I know the parents probably, y'all not going to be too interested in this, but some of y'all might get some stuff from this. You can go back in time on Google Earth on the map and you can see like past data on the maps. That's a big tool that I use that I don't think a lot of people know about. So I think that's something y'all could benefit from. But second thing is check the weather. Like going into a tournament, say you're in practice, you're looking at the weather for the week. You need to look at, what's the wind doing? Like on tournament day, if the wind's blowing 20 out of the north on your best spot, you're going to be in a bind because you got waves on your fish. You can't do that. So make sure you keep that in mind. Get as much practicing as possible. I mean, if you can get out on the water, 30 minutes before daylight, you do that. You can stay on the water till 30 minutes after sunset, you do that. You just got to put your time in. And I mean, I've noticed a lot of people that I'm friends with that are really good, at what they do. They put their time in. That's really, and time's so valuable, but in fishing, it's a big thing because time is everything. I mean, the more time that you put into it, it's like anything else. If you want to be the best baseball player, you put a lot of time into playing baseball. You put a lot of time into what you love. Fishing's the same way. You put a lot of time into it, and you'll get better at it. Checking your equipment. That's the one thing in fishing that you can't really account for, is checking your equipment. I had my good buddy at this last tournament we fished last week. His name's Miles Smith. He's my college fishing partner. He was sitting in third place going into day 2 of the Invitational. And I mean, that's a big deal. You're sitting in third place. He had a cameraman in his boat. He was all fired up. We were talking that morning at the launch. We're running down the lake, and he was a couple boat numbers in front of me, and his boat's a little bit faster. So I was behind him a little ways, but I see him shut down in the middle of the lake. I'm like, man, what's he doing? And get a little closer to him, and he's like, man, you hear that? And I listened. You could hear the knocking in his motor, and I just seen the disappointment in his face. There's nothing that feels worse than that. But he did his preparation. He had his oil changes. He had everything like that, and he accounted for it. It just happens. So it's fishing. That's the one thing that you can't control it, but it happens. So you can control it as much as you can, though. So that's what you need to do. But review tournament rules and details. So a lot of different organizations will have different rules and different things you got to abide by, which is important to know. I mean, you don't have to go through every little thing, but just know the big deals like the off limits and stuff like that. your fishing license. So I keep a folder in my phone. We travel so much with college, and I know y'all travel a lot with the high school stuff too and the junior stuff, but I keep a folder on my phone, and it's got I call it fishing licenses. It's got a license number and stuff for every state, keeps it in order. It does suck. I wish they just had a whole U.S. license so we didn't have to have 15 of them, but that is what it is. The night before, make sure your batteries are charged. That's a big thing. If you don't have no batteries, unless you're paddling all day, you need batteries. Fix your lines and tackle, have all that stuff in order. It's really important. Terminal tackle is a really important thing. I don't know if that's something that y'all do, but changing hooks is really important. Making sure you got the right hook, make sure you got the right line. That's a whole different conversation, but got to make sure you got the right stuff. Fuel up, make sure you got gas. My first big tournament ever that I ever fished in my life, I ran out of gas at 10 o'clock in the morning. So y'all don't do that. Pack your rain gear. You never know when it's going to rain. The weatherman ain't right most of the time. Even when he is, you still need to bring it. Pack your food, pack your drinks. A lot of times during the tournament, you'll get caught up. You know, you be fishing. You're not really thinking about eating. You're not thinking about drinking. I try to keep a water next to my console, so when I go to sit down, I'm moving spots, I see it, I drink. Because if I don't think about it, I'm not going to drink. And if you get dehydrated, you get in a bind. So just remember to drink water. Set alarms. I've had that happen to me before too. You know, you got to wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. You're not thinking about, you're tired. Set alarms, set multiple, set 4 or 5, however many you got to set, and make sure you wake up. Because if you don't wake up, it's not good. Tournament day, get there on time. That kind of goes with the alarm thing. Know your check-in time. I write it on my hand every tournament. I was late one time, and I didn't know I knew the check-in time, but I thought it was a different time. I got it written on my hand now, so there's no confusion. Some people laugh at it, but at least I'm not late. Fish care, clean your live wells. A lot of people don't know this too. You can clean your live wells with baking soda. Like before the tournament, you put the hose pipe in there, clean it with some baking soda, get it all cleaned out. It'll keep your fish lively. G-juice is a really good thing. Ice, fin clips, if you're catching them real deep, it's not really a problem around here, but if you catch them deep in like 15 foot, you need some fin clips. All right, let's roll on this back page real quick. I know y'all ready to eat. So high school trails. So can somebody tell me what high school trails are y'all fishing right now? High school Bass Nation with Mr. Tommy. Anything else? Bass Tactics. Do what? Okay. All right. Well, when I was in high school, I fished that one, and I also fished Bass Tactics. That's a good one. The opens are a big thing too. Bassmaster and MLF both do opens all around the country. If you're really looking to get out there, that's a really good route to take because they fish lakes that you may not fish within Louisiana. Because when you get to college, we don't stay in Louisiana most of the time. We go to Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, you name it. But those open tournaments are a really good way to prepare yourself for that because it gets you ready. I mean, a lot of the same lakes that we fished in high school, like for example, we fished Pickwick Lake last week for the Invitational. The place that I fished on day 2 when we couldn't use live scope was a place that I fished in high school. So it was an area that I knew from high school, so you can definitely benefit a lot from high school and college fishing because it'll prepare you for that. Additional stuff you can do in high school is the Bassmaster Combine. Have any of y'all been to the Combine? That's a really good thing to do, especially if you're looking at going for college fishing. There's a lot of college coaches there, and for the parents that don't know what the Combine is, it's kind of like the NFL Combine a little bit. You go and you showcase your skills. They'll have a knot tying competition, a casting competition, what else? Flipping competition for accuracy and stuff like that. And they place all of that on this big leaderboard and they show the stats. Well, all the college coaches are there with their booths set up and everything, and they looking at how the anglers are doing. It's a really big deal. They have a lot of news outlets there, and it's a really good thing to look into if you're looking to go fish college. The Bassmaster All-American, they pick 12 anglers in the country to go on this resume, and they send you out. It's a really cool deal. I was fortunate enough to be a part of it, and I mean Bassmaster puts it on through their organization, and we go out, and I think it was in Texas when we went. It coincided with the Lake Fork event for the elites, and it was a really cool experience. I definitely recommend y'all try to do that. And fishing as co-anglers. That's a big thing for the Toyota Series and the Bass Nation or any other co-angler event. I mean, you really just want to fish with as much people as you can. I mean, when I was growing up, I fish with as many people as I can because everybody does something just a little bit different that you can kind of put put in your knowledge bank and have, further down the road, you see, well, this guy did this and this guy did something different. So it's always good to fish with different people. All right. And as far as keeping your college fishing deal going again, you want to keep track of all your tournament finishes. So like this might sound like I'm a little nerdy, but I keep a little voice log of all my tournament finishes. So like I'll get back from a tournament and I'll go, all right, this day the lake level was at this, the air temperature was at this, the water temperature was at this, and later on down the road, I mean, I've got voice logs from 3-4 years ago. You can go back and listen to it, and it helps. It helps a lot. And also it helps with when you're going to get in college, a college fishing coach might say, hey, can I get your resume? And you'll have a log of, in your log, you'll say, okay, in this tournament, I finished 3rd. In this tournament, I might have finished 15th, might have won this one. You'll have a list of your tournament finishes, and that's something that college coaches are really looking for because they want to know, how you are as an angler and where you finish at. So, let's see. Reach out to college coaches, too. That's a big thing that I think a lot of anglers in high school and juniors don't know. College coaches want to hear from you. I mean, if they hear from you and you're able to build a relationship with them whenever you're young in your career and they can watch you and they got eyes and they see the work that you're putting in, that's a big difference with them because they know you. So definitely reach out. If you've got a specific college in mind, just contact, the recruitment office or contact the coach or a college angler and they can put you in contact with them. Keep up your grades. I don't know if y'all have a grade minimum, but I know for LSUS, if our grade point average isn't above 2.5, we can't fish. So you got to keep your grades up. I mean, the work ethic with your grades and with fishing kind of coincides with each other. Just got to have a good work ethic, and you got to stay on top of everything. A lot of our classes are online because of how much we travel, but we still got to stay on top of it. Just always keep learning. I mean, I learn new stuff every day with fishing. That's what I love so much about it. It's like a puzzle, and every day it falls apart again. That's my favorite thing about it. But it's fishing in the end, and just enjoy it. And I know y'all ready to eat, so we can go ahead and do that. And I really appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
Bass fishing team.
Thank you. If y'all got any questions about anything, I'll try to answer and I'll be hanging around.
Thank you all for your attention. And I had one thing I didn't mention, but captains, whoever's running boats here, we have 8 captains. Just raise your hands. How many of you bought new boats this year or last year for this, right? Yeah, see, everybody, right? Yeah, almost everybody. So I mean, it's intense. I mean, Levi was talking about make sure your equipment is good, and we lost a lower unit this year. We had poor Kelly. Just about every tournament had a boat issue. So I mean, those are the things that those are great points of emphasis. You do what you can at the house. You make sure you're ready to go. But sometimes it happens on the water, and you just can't control it.
So, Coach, what a great banquet. Looks like everybody having fun. Levi came, gave you a nice little talk to Coach Colstone. Not enough publicity is given to these young anglers, and I know y'all making efforts to do it, and we're here, and we're glad y'all let us know about it, but they deserve a lot of recognition.
Absolutely. Not all these young men are star baseball players, not all basketball players, football players. But we do feel that this does require just as much preparation and just as much effort to be successful in. And so it was a great opportunity for a lot of these young men to be involved in something with the school, with the community, an opportunity to be on a team, and just a great, hopefully a great high school memory and opportunity to build those relationships and hopefully take it to the college level.
I was listening to James as he was talking to Levi over there, so I huddled them together. But these young anglers know what to ask. They know what they're doing. Absolutely.
I would say we're pretty competitive with all the schools. It is fishing though, so you still got to go out there and you still got to find a way to catch them. But these guys pour their hearts into trying to be prepared, and asking the right questions, doing the right homework, and they all want to be successful. They all want to win a tournament. They all want to catch their personal best, and with that commitment and that attitude, something great will come from it.
Coach, congratulations. Thanks for what you do, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like every 2 or 3 minutes you'd see like a new. Yeah. Like we did everything. I know, and the only move we could give them was wait to the white jacket.
So Levi, good group here, and you were there one time, and not long ago, but you progressed and done so well. What's the biggest thing you have to get over to sort of calm your nerves down when you're getting ready to go? It's like any other sport. Adrenaline's going to be rolling. What do you do to calm yourself down?
I can hold.
Sure.
Man, I just sit down and just kind of think about it. When it boils down to it, you're thinking about all the money and all the stuff like that. When it boils down to it, it's just casting a line in the water. So I just sit down and I think about that in the morning, and it really calms me down. Listen to some music on the way to the boat launch, kind of get in the right mindset, and just roll on.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Levi, because James is listening intently. He showed me some pictures of his bass. What's the biggest bass you've ever caught?
11 pounds, 10 ounces.
Wow. That's serious.
Sir.
And what was your reaction when you brought him in?
I was by myself, but I was pretty fired up.
When did you first start loving to fish?
Probably around when I could walk, but my dad's the one who really got me into it. He was a big bass fisherman, and he kind of lit that fire, and got me going.
Wow. James, come see. All right, you were up here. You were getting to talk to Levi. Of course, he's been on TV and done the whole deal. And you're an up and coming. What questions did you ask him tonight?
Really what I asked him was me and one of my buddies, we went fishing on Lake Buff the other day and just asked him what he would have done differently from what we did and based on the conditions and what we found.
Yeah. And what have you learned? Because I remember you when you were yay tall and you really got into it big time, and your dad and mom tell me you study all the maps and you do all kind of things, which Levi said to do when he was up there, but you sort of got into this pretty big time, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Really, when I really got into it big time was last year when I first started fishing tournaments. I've always liked to fish, was more of a saltwater fisherman before, didn't really get introduced to bass fishing until last year when we got our team. But ever since our first tournament, I was hooked, and from there on out, it's just been every weekend. Ever since I could drive, it's been almost more than every weekend, almost close to 3 or 4 times a week. Try to hone my skills, go fish, practice, do whatever I can, learn new stuff, and yeah.
Let me ask you, to have a guy like Levi come back, he's from around this area, and speak to you guys, what does that mean to y'all?
Means a lot. He was in our shoes one day, and we get to learn from him how he overcame the South Louisiana bass fisherman mindset of shallow water fishing all the time and learning how to fish on live scope and fish deep.
All right. And Levi, how does it feel to come back and talk to people near your hometown, but in your area? We're all one big bunch here. And you're right, it is different fishing here than other areas, but how does it feel to come back home?
It feels really good to come back home. Honestly, it feels like I left yesterday. Time flies by so fast when you love what you do, and I really love what I do.
This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
Stay tuned for more Bayou Time Sports, brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System, Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, and Barker Kia.
And welcome back as we continue to cover the Vandebilt Catholic High School Anglers Banquet. And of course, they got a pretty young team, like I said in the intro before, but we're going to listen in now as some of the awards are going to be given out. They're full now. They've eaten a good meal here at Song Finon. So let's listen in with all the sponsors and captains and moms and dads and grandparents here. Let's listen in. Certificates now to be handed out.
So Miss Yupa and all her staff They did a phenomenal job, and we thank you for your service tonight and making this event, for us go without a hitch. Very memorable, and thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, so awards and recognition. This is, again, something we talked about early on. We fish all these tournaments for the big prize, whether it be the big fish, whether it's for a tournament win. At the end of the day, if we leave the dock and make it back to the dock, that's a win. But hopefully you take each tournament, you build upon it, and you use what you learn from one to the next, and that's a success for you. As I mentioned, we couldn't do this without our sponsors. And I want to recognize these sponsors now. And if you would, please, sponsors, Ron, if I'm gonna say the sponsors, and then once I call you up, please stand so we can recognize you. Dr. Craig and Miss Tina with CIS Global Consulting, Serbo Tubular, and others. Mr. Tommy Prejean with 7T Farms. Y'all stay standing because the boys will walk around and give you. All right. Miss Patty Mentor with Norman's Tuxedo. Shane Thibodeau with Bow to Stern. Miss Beanie Prejean with Monarch and LeCarp Mini Storage. We have Ron Chesson, and if I don't say Miss Colleen, we're going to have trouble. So, Ron and Colleen with Maverick Energy Solutions. Grant Gravois with State Farm. Scott and Christy with Sanju Sporting Goods. And then we also have some indirect sponsors, and I know you're here representing your companies, and we appreciate that. Toby Prejean, River Parish Contractors. Amanda Louviere with Synergy Bank. And Todd Noblock with O'Reilly Auto Parts. And so we have, where's the boys? So this goes to Amanda. This goes to Todd. This goes to, let me look at my list again. All those other Arctic goes to the sponsor stand. Yep. That bag goes to the other bag. Goes to Tool back there, standing in the back. The white shirt. Any one of the other, yeah, white shirts. Any other sponsor standing. Any sponsor standing, just go give them one. Any sponsor who doesn't have one. No, we're good. We got all of them out. Thank y'all for that. As I mentioned, we sincerely appreciate your partnership with us, and we hope it's long term. We hope this is something that you guys see as a great opportunity for these young men, and continue to help contribute to the cause. So thank you. All right, the history of the Vandebilt fishing team. David mentioned a little bit of history back when he was around in the bass fishing team. I couldn't find stats that far back, that were published. And so I went back to 2017. It was started with about 10 teams, 20 members. 2018, it had 18 teams, 36 members. 2019, 13 teams, 26 members. And that year in 2019, the Vandebilt fishing team was the Louisiana Youth Bass Nation High School State Champions. So guys, y'all hear that, right? Vandebilt got a state championship. They got a team state championship, 2019. We have to top that. They had 4 teams and 2 anglers qualified for state, and then the highest total weight from those teams. 2020 they had teams, but I don't have any data. They did qualify for state, and then 2021 to 23 there was no fishing team at Vandebilt, and so that was COVID. That was the prior era that had left, and there was no coach. And then in 2024, my wife got asked to be the moderator. And David mentioned somebody, Hunter Para, who was going to be the coach, and he had gone to the first meeting. I had gone to the first meeting, and we were, of course, I don't go to anything without being prepared. And I went to the first meeting, and I started asking a bunch of questions. And I could tell Hunter was giving me that kind of, "Why are you doing this to me?" look. And so he did a great job of fielding the questions. We left. He called me and he said, "Man," you know way more about this than I do right now. And I said, "Yeah, I did a little homework." And he said, you want to do this?" I was like, "I can't answer that right now. I'll get back to you," because I wanted to go reach out to some of my friends, some of the other teams who had done this before, and they had successful programs. Because if I'm going to commit all the time and effort and work that it takes to be a good leader, be a good coach, be a good mentor, I want to make sure that I can do it the right way. And so I called a few friends and I said, "Man, you think I could do this?" I had coached flag football for a while, and I really enjoyed the opportunity to, help kids just try to do whatever they wanted to and be successful. And I saw it as another opportunity. Brandon didn't want to play flag football anymore, so my coaching career was over. And so I'm like, why not? Let me hop back into this. Really didn't know what I was getting into, but Miss Tina had laid the foundation and the groundwork to saying, "Hey, we want a bass fishing team. We're gonna have a bass fishing team. I don't care who's coaching it." So I was an easy insert, because somebody now says, "Okay, well, they're gonna do it." And so she was very fundamental. Her and Dr. Craig, James wanted to fish, and his high school career wasn't getting any shorter unless he planning on failing a grade. And so we got it going last year, and it was a great opportunity for us to have a bass fishing team. So 2024, we had 4 teams, 9 members. All 4 teams qualified to fish in the state championship. And then here we are, 2025. So 2025, we grew, basically doubled again. We're rebuilding, right? Every great team, every great organization goes through a phase of non-existence, irrelevancy, and then they bounce back. And so here we are. You look around in this room, you see all the people supporting us. You see all the partnerships that we've made. HTV's here. I mean, how cool is that, right? We've made it, right? When you get the attention of the local news, you get the attention of the local community. Hopefully we'll have like a half hour on HTV, Bayou Sports, segment or something. I don't know what we'll get, but, anything is better than nothing. And that's the goal here, is try to help promote this is what we're doing, and promote these kids, and show everybody that, we will be talked about. And we will win a state championship, and we want the best for these young men. We want them to succeed in anything they do, and what they're doing is bass fishing. 3 junior teams and 1 high school team qualified for state this year. So if you don't know about these tournaments, we fished 9 tournaments. That's the Louisiana Youth Bass Nation Trail. 9 tournaments all across the state of Louisiana. Red River, these are up north. Red River, Calcasieu River out west, Toledo Bend twice, Manchac, Caney Lake, Bayou Signet, Henderson, and Drawrons. Some we love way more than others, but you still got to show up for all the ones that you're like, "Man, I can't catch a 9-pounder there." Like, why do I go? Well, because you love fishing, and if you want to go to state, you need to qualify. So you got to get the most tournaments that you can get in. For the junior division, you must fish 3 tournaments to qualify for state. So, junior division is not as competitive. And, I was told here recently that the Vandebilt fishing team has opened up. It's something we've been trying for. We just didn't put it in motion last year. But we're going to open up our junior club to 6th and 7th graders because you really need to start early. It does us a disservice if you get to 8th grade at Vandebilt, you want to get on a fishing team, you fish 1 year in the junior division, and then you're jumping into a really competitive high school competition. So we're going to start earlier. We're going to invite some of our younger feeder schools, St. Bernadette, St. Francis, and some of the teams. It's a great opportunity to give some of these young anglers who don't have a club, allow them to compete in our community club, and we really feel like that's going to help build our team, through their high school years. So really looking forward to that and inviting some of these younger anglers. The high school division, last year was pretty tough. It was tough to make 10% to qualify for state, but they even made it much tougher this year. They took that 10%, top 10% of each tournament and said, you know what, we only want half of that to show up to state. So they took 10% qualifiers, made it to 5% qualifiers. So now understand, this is the same amount of people competing. 250, 260, almost 300 boats. And say now only the top 5% of each tournament is going to make it. So it's a real honor, if you qualify in that top 5%, heck 10% as well. But to get that opportunity to go fish in the state championship, it's something that the guys have definitely earned. So we're going to go into, where's my helper here? We're going to go into awards, and let's give Miss Alexis a round of applause here. She's volunteering her time tonight. She's volunteering her time tonight to help us out, and so we thank her for that, for her service. With the junior anglers, we'll start with Aiden Chatinier. So he's an 8th grader. His first season, he had a partner, Luke, who's not here tonight. His captain is Jamie Chatinier. If you wouldn't mind coming up as well, captains. Aiden fished, so let me say this on the awards. Everybody's going to get a Ducket rod, Jacob Wheeler 2.0, customized with a Vandebilt Fishing logo on the handle, right? How sweet is that? We thank Cajun Tackle House for customizing that for us. But Ducket rod, Jacob Wheeler 2.0, that's pretty legit. So Aiden fished 5 tournaments. He switched partners early on in the year. Got a new partner, Luke. Luke's not here tonight. Aiden, if y'all can turn around and face this way. Aiden didn't weigh any fish, but I will tell you this. It wasn't for lack of trying. He got some good experience, and he did get some new fishing equipment out of it because every tournament he went to, after he was done, he told his dad he needed something else, like live scope, a new graph, lithium batteries, a new boat, you name it. So he didn't get a trophy, but hey, he's prepping for next year. So Aiden, he finished with 150 points, and he finished 42nd out of 49 juniors. So we got a certificate for you. We got a bag of the goodies. So let me tell you about the goodies. Ditch Pickle Baits came through and give all our boys, a bunch of jigs, a bunch of soft plastics, and so they have a combination of jigs and soft plastics. Miss Tina also, I want to say, the Love fish socks, which one is a spinning rod, the other one is a casting rod. So you're walking away a winner, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Jamie, I'll get a picture. Where's the photographer? If photographer can get a picture here. By the way, Aiden qualified for state by fishing 3 tournaments, but he didn't make it to state. Dad had a job call out, so that's what happened. See, captains are Captains are the glue. Yeah. All right, our next is Rylan Amity and Austin Terry, 8th grade, both first season. Captain is not here, but I was asked to get somebody to come up, Miss Valerie or Miss Katie, to come up and accept on his behalf because she made all the sandwiches. She made all the to-go, meals to put on the boat, and so that's just as important as being a captain, right? Making sure you stay hydrated, making sure you have food to eat, and so that's important. These guys fished 3 tournaments. They caught 4 fish for 9.54 pounds, and that's a good average weight right there. They finished with 613 points for 30th out of 49 juniors. They also qualified for state, but didn't make it because Austin was going to his first boat race. And so that's what happens. Sometimes another sport takes, or a hobby, takes precedence. So congratulations to these guys, and nice job your first season. Right. Hey, so let me ask you this. Y'all caught 4 fish. Who caught the most fish?
2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right. Nice teamwork. Great teamwork. Good job, guys. Well, now they got to figure out who caught 2 and who caught 2.
I caught 1.
That's the way fishing goes, right? Everything's a fishing story. Good job, guys. So to round out the juniors, Tucker Gravois and Lucas Lede, 8th grade, first season. Captain Travis Gravois. They fished 7 tournaments for 26.53 pounds. They finished with 1,789 points, and they were 5th out of 49 juniors. They qualified for state and finished 9th at the state championship out of 24 boats. And Lucas and Tucker are our 2024 Vandebilt Fishing Junior Angler of the Year Award recipients. Good job. So, in addition to rods, a certificate, and the great goodie bags, Tucker and Lucas also get a Lew's reel. Yep. So, I got a question. Who caught the most fish? Okay, well.
I think it was Lucas.
Tucker caught the most fish.
I think Lucas caught the most fish and the most trees. Fish. We got that figured out, right?
Yeah. So how many trees did you climb to get any really expensive baits? 0.
He didn't climb any trees, but the last tournament that we fished for fun, he ended up in his underwear in the water because he dropped his phone in the water. He decided to go dive for it after, so that was a whole nother story as well. And I want to say one thing really quick too, and this goes specifically for the anglers as well, is this guy is never looking for credit. He doesn't get paid to do this, but I want to make sure every angler takes time on their own to thank this guy, because I talk to him all the time. Ask my wife. I text him more than anybody probably, and until late at night. There's a lot of time and effort put into this entire year in every tournament that I don't think a lot of people understand. So we all need to thank Coach and give him a round of applause.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that. So the other award, because it's the only I guess award that we have on file as a true weighted fish, Lucas Lede won in Henderson the Big Fish Award. So that was a great honor from all the junior anglers. He won the Big Fish Award. And what I wanted to mention about that was, I was going to ask him, was it funner to catch that big fish or find your phone after you dropped it after caning?
The big fish.
The big fish? Okay, because it was cold outside, as Travis mentioned. It was cold.
It was 49 that morning.
And
he jumped in.
And he dropped his phone in, and I'm sure right off at the gate he was thinking, I don't want to lose all my contacts. He probably was also thinking, you know, I'm gonna be in trouble. Yeah. So
he panicked right away. We have it on video if you haven't seen it on YouTube, but he panicked right away. And when I came up and asked him, this one on the video, he was so nervous that he had lost his phone number. That's all he was worried about. I don't lose my phone number. Where's my phone number? So he jumped in the water. I said, buddy, if you can't find it, it's all right. We can get you. Just keep the same number. Just get you another phone.
he's gonna lose that girl's number.
Yeah, he lost that. Yeah, he lost that.
So with that also comes a gift certificate for $25 for the Big Fish Award. So congratulations, guys. Good job. And they would have fished all tournaments, but Travis lost the lower unit on Scout Day. He lost the lower unit, and as Levi mentioned, it happens. You know, you can prepare all you want, but sometimes things happen, and they weren't able to fish. So, but 7 tournaments, qualify for state, and finish as high as they did. That's a great accomplishment. Yeah, you got the picture?
Smile, bro.
Oh yeah, Lucas. Oh yeah, Lucas. Yeah, there you go.
Carry it if they can't carry it.
Yeah, Lucas, Tucker, and there you go.
Let me just carry their stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, is that Angler of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the rods for the Anglers of the Year come a little bit different, and they capture this moment in time.
Oh, that's cool.
Junior Angler of the Year 2024-25. So good job, guys. All right, so we'll move on to the high school. As I mentioned, you know, when you get to the high school level, it's extremely competitive. These guys are competing against, you know, 8th graders, ninth graders, 10th graders, 11th, and 12th. And so, you know, somebody who's been doing it for 4 years, they certainly have an advantage. They've been to these places before. They know what baits. It's, you know, coming into it as a 9th grader, you're at the bottom of the pole. So, you know, you have a lot to learn and a lot to build upon over your high school career. We'll start with Ethan Prejean and Jay Hall, 9th graders. This is their 2nd season. Ethan and Jay were captained by Mr. Tommy Prejean, and let me tell you, these boys have the most fun out of everybody. I'm telling you, Mr. Tommy, come on up here. And a lot of it is because of this captain right here. I'm telling you, there's not a dull moment on that boat at all. And he keeps them in check. Mr. Tommy is a soul of hard love, and he certainly makes sure that these guys understand what it takes to start to be a man. You know, this is you gotta step away, and it's hard love, and he's doing a great job with it. We enjoy having him around. This was the first man I've ever shared a bed with in my adult life, and so that's crazy, right? But you know, when you're rooming and you're trying to cut costs on lodging, you do what you have to do. And I wasn't sleeping on the floor, and he wasn't sleeping on the floor. So he just said, "I snore. Be ready." And I said, "My wife tells me I snore too." So they fished 6 tournaments, caught 1 fish for 1.5 pounds. They finished with 295 points for 30th. For 30th out of 256 high school teams. Who caught that fish? Me. We don't have to think about that one, right? Good job. But hey, we'd like to congratulate you on a good year. You got a certificate, rod, and this is a building year, right? So next year can only be better, right? But we appreciate y'all sticking with it, and I know Ethan loves to fish. Ethan, who's been playing soccer all of his life, you know, told his mom he wanted to give up soccer for bass fishing. And so that's pretty hardcore. And so we love having him on the team. Jay and Mr. Tommy, we love having you all around. Nice job, guys. You know where I messed up, and I got to backtrack here. Yeah, picture. For the captains who came up. Y'all might be wondering why we have so many rods up here. It's because guess what? Captains also get a rod. Captains get a Ducket torch rod, also customized with Vandebilt Fishing 2024-2025 captain. And so if you didn't get your rod, here you go.
Watch that thing.
Get you a rod, man.
I need a rod?
Yep. And where was the other captain?
Which one of my kids gonna take it from me?
Yeah, exactly. So you might wonder how come the captains? We can give it to Valerie or Katie. You might wonder why does the captain's rod look different from the angler's rod? Well, the reality is all these anglers, even if the captains have rods, the anglers are going to claim them as theirs anyway. So you don't want them to have two rods of the same. So Chris, you're getting one, but it's only going to be short-lived, brother. Chris will probably claim it tonight. So the next, Noah Arsenault and Jackson Boudreaux, 11th graders. This is Jackson's first year, Noah's second year, and their captain is Kelly Louvier. Where's Kelly?
Come on, Kel.
They fished 7 tournaments. They caught 9 fish for 13.16 pounds. They finished with 904 points. For 132nd out of 256 high school teams. And I told you what these boys, I think what they learned the most this season, as I mentioned, they had a few boat problems. A few meaning if you fish 7 tournaments, like
We had
7 boat problems at least.
Damn year.
Yeah, so, but what they learned out of that was how to deal with adversity. They never quit. They never quit. Even if he called me and said, hey, we're broke down about an hour from the launch. We're probably going to have to get a tow in. I would say, hey, man, drop the trolling motor and fish on your way in. Somebody will pick you up. And it's a never quit attitude that, is gonna make you be better next year. You know what I mean? Because you're going to hit adversity. You're going to have problems. It's just how you deal with them. Do you throw your hands up and quit and say, I'm done? You say, no, I'm going to keep fishing. Keep your head down, and you keep working towards the goal, which is trying to catch some fish. So
They wanted to stay going after it.
Yeah. So nice job dealing with all the challenges. We got 2 rods. We got rods for you. We got bags, and we got certificates. We got a picture coming up.
Both of my guys are taller than me, so shortest captain award.
Yeah, yellow for the picture. Good job, guys. Our next team is James Walker and Chris Celestine, both 11th graders. Second season. They had 2 captains who split the duties, so that makes it a lot easier on a captain, right? You take this one, I'll take that one. You do this homework, I'll do that homework. So, again, that's a huge benefit there. Captains Chris Celestine and Sean Hebert, come on up. They fished all 9 tournaments. They caught 23 fish for 46.18 pounds. Finished with 2,156 points and go over here. 16th out of 256 boats. I should also mention that they won first place at the Bass Tactics, where each of these guys won a $40,000 scholarship to Simpson University. And Chris won some money. I don't know if he split that, but they won some money too, right? They cut a check. That's what the guys talk about when you fish a tournament. Did you cut a check? Or were you just out of cutting a check? These guys cut a check, a big one. Right? And so, these guys, they're extremely competitive. If you know both of them, you know that they both want to win. You know that they put their heart and soul because they're extremely passionate about fishing, and it definitely shows when you guys compete. And so, you know, again, take it all in. You know, you got 1 year left, and so make the best of it. Make sure that you capitalize on this 1 year and continue to work hard. And, you know, just keep doing what you do, and the glory is going to come. So, you know, keep up the great work, and we appreciate you having you on the team. You know, your senior year, I want you to also take the opportunities with all these guys in the room, with new kids and new teams coming in. You guys are very knowledgeable. Yeah, you know, probably of all the kids we have on the team, you know, you guys know a lot. And so make sure that before you leave, you know, make sure you share some of that wisdom. Make sure you pass that along, and you know, help Vandebilt fishing team be as good as it can be. So thank you and congratulations. You got a rod for each captain and pretty cool stuff. Y'all look for the picture here? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And last but not least here, you know, of the teams that competed in the tournaments, we have Brandon Clark and Thomas, I'm going to say Leapry because that's what Mr. Tommy Abbott always says, but of course we know it's LePere. So Thomas LePere, both ninth graders, second season here. I'm the captain. Fished 9 tournaments, and last year we went from 4 tournaments to 9 tournaments this year. My wife kept asking me, "You really have to do another one? Like you've already qualified. Why do you have to do another tournament?" And it's because these boys were extremely competitive. You know, they wanted to score as many points as they can get. They wanted to compete with the high school boys in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, compete against their teammates, who you know, again, gives them motivation to be better. And they caught, in all 9 tournaments, they caught 42 fish for 66.44 pounds. They finished with 2,342 points and 7th out of 256 high school teams to be awarded in the top 10 and 7th place Angler of the Year through Louisiana Youth Bass Nation. So if you watch any of this stuff live, if you watch any of the Louisiana Youth Bass Nation stuff on Facebook Live, you'll realize that you know, it's a great honor to finish in the top 5% in a tournament. And you know, again, that didn't happen by accident. You know, it was a lot of hard work. And so these high schoolers are your 2024-2025 Vandebilt Fishing Angler of the Year Award recipients. Thomas, the push. Does Thomas have one like that? Yeah, right there. This one? Yep. Oh, we were gonna give that to Lucas. And they also get, as Anglers of the Year for the high school, the Shimano SLX reel. And a picture. Good job. My role model! Yeah, good deal! And last but not least, here, Connor didn't compete in any of our tournaments because he didn't have a partner and didn't have a boat. But Connor, this is his 2nd year on the bass fishing team. He's here for us to participate, you know, in the pond fishing, other events that we do. And so we want to recognize Connor for, being on our team, and we're glad to have him. Connor did go up to Caney Lake this year, not for the tournament, but he caught your PB, right? So you want to tell everybody what that was?
4.85.
4.85 at Caney, and it wasn't in a boat, it was on the bank. So good job, Connor. All right. Let's give all these anglers a round of applause. And all these parents and captains for really, supporting these anglers and what they wanted to do. We'll have a flipping contest. Some of you may go off and eat some more food or dessert while we're doing that. Some of you may watch us, flip and be the competitive sport. I'll call it a sport. It's a competitive sport, even just flipping. And any of you in the audience, if you want to flip, I know you can flip, right, Scott? All right. So I encourage our audience to participate and try to take a gift card from one of these boys. That'll make them work harder. So the flipping contest, there will be 10 flips, right? We have a little bucket. There's going to be 10 flips, and the best out of 10, right? So 9 out of 10, of course, better than 7 out of 10, better than 3 out of 10. So there's 3 gift cards. So first, second, and third, that's how that's going to be awarded. If we have a tie in the first, second, and third, we're going to go to 5 flips. And so it's the best out of 5, right? So as Levi, if you keep up with Levi, and when he had a camera on the other day, he was fishing a tournament and he was flipping a frog. And he was flipping every doggone tree with such precision that, it really is an art. It's really something you have to work at. It's really something that you have to make every cast count, because every bad cast is a missed opportunity to catch that big fish, right? You don't want to make a bad cast and have to hurry up and reel in. And this is what I try to stress to the guys all the time. Everybody wants to just throw, right? And you're just throwing wildly. You just want to get your bait out in the water. Think about where you're throwing. Think about the structure. Think about the cover. Think about what you're trying to do. You're trying to catch a fish. So if you're fishing heavy cover, a brush, or a bank, why would the fish be randomly out there just in the open, right? So flipping is something that you have to get good at. 8th graders, 9th graders, start to make this a goal of yours to get a bucket out in the backyard. You might not be able to get in a boat. You might not be able to go fishing, but put the bucket out there, work on your cast, work on your craft, and it's going to make you better. And so flipping contests, because I know a lot of the boys will say, well, it's not like I'm in a boat. We have a platform outside, the stage where they do bands, so you'll be elevated off the ground. No excuses, guys. We'll have a bucket. We'll flip in the bucket and try to make this as real as possible. So after we do the flipping contest, we'll award first, second, and third. I'll have some closing comments for any of you who hang around, but we hope that you stay and cheer on some of these boys in their little competition. All right, so we'll go outside and do this.
Coach, real quick, we're going to air this tomorrow night at 6. It'll be the whole show on Facebook and YouTube, and then on HTV it'll be a half-hour show, but on Facebook and YouTube, the whole banquet will be
right on, right on. We appreciate that. And we hope that this definitely brings some recognition to Vandebilt fishing, because we're not baseball, we're not football, we're not softball, we're not tennis. But if we go to an awards banquet for sports, we want to make sure that they think about Vandebilt. And they mention Vandebilt in that same breath. So, Martin, HTV, we appreciate what you're doing for us. Thank you.
Thank y'all for letting us know. This is video. This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.